It's 2:17 in the morning. The room is dark. The world outside your window is silent, and you should be asleep.
But you're not. You're lying there staring at the ceiling, and your brain has decided without asking your permission to replay something that happened 3 years ago. A conversation, or a mistake, or a moment where you said the wrong thing at the wrong time to the wrong person. You know it doesn't matter anymore, and you know the other person has probably forgotten. And you know there is nothing you can do about it at 2:17 in the morning. And yet your brain is running the tape again, frame by frame, word by word. Here's the strange part. You didn't choose this. You didn't sit down and decide, I think I'll relive my most embarrassing moment right now. It just arrived like an uninvited guest that walks through the door and sits on your chest and refuses to leave. And if you've ever wondered why your brain holds on to certain memories with a grip that feels almost physical, the answer is not what you think. It's not weakness, it's not overthinking. It's not that you're too sensitive. It's a system, a biological mechanism buried deep in your neural wiring, one that evolved to keep you alive, but now keeps you awake. Psychologists have a name for this: maladaptive rumination, the tendency of the mind to circle back to the same thought patterns again and again, especially around uncertainty and social situations and emotional pain. Researchers who spent decades studying rumination discovered something remarkable. People who get stuck in these loops are not doing it because they're weak or anxious by nature. In many cases, their brains are exceptionally good at pattern recognition. They scan, they process, they search for meaning in everything. The problem is not the intelligence. The problem is that the system never receives a signal to stop. Sit with that for a second. Your brain is not broken. It's overperforming. It's doing exactly what it was trained to do: search for threats and analyze danger and prepare for the worst. It's just doing it long after the danger is gone. Here's where it gets fascinating. That version of you lying in the dark at 2:17 a.m. Inside your skull, two specific networks are hijacking the controls. The first is your default mode network. Think of this as your brain's background processing system, the thing that connects the dots when you're not focused on a task. For most people, it hums quietly. But for you right now, it's not humming. It's screaming. It's taking that embarrassing memory from 3 years ago and inflating it, projecting it onto the back of your eyelids until it feels bigger than the room you're lying in. Now your prefrontal cortex, the part that handles analysis and self-reflection, should be the one to hit the kill switch. It should be telling you, this is irrelevant data, discard it. But it isn't. It's staying just as active as the default mode network, frantically trying to audit the event. So you're left with a mind that's constantly online, constantly drafting responses to conversations that don't exist anymore. Now here's the twist. Your brain isn't storing this memory as cold, dry data. It's storing it as a full body replay. When your brain runs the tape, you aren't just remembering the embarrassment. You are physically re-entering it. Your heart rate is climbing, and your palms are sweating, and your stomach is tight. You're literally inducing a stress response in your body over a memory that is dead and gone. So if this is so painful, why does your brain keep doing it? Because with every replay, you feel like you're getting somewhere, analyzing the angles and drafting what you should have said. It feels like work. It feels like progress. It isn't. You're walking in circles. It's the ultimate productivity hack for a problem that doesn't exist. Cognitive psychologists call this the illusion of mental progress. The mind feels like it's solving something, but it's just looping. This is why just stop thinking about it never works. Your brain genuinely believes that thinking harder is how you stay safe. And here's where it flips. You have a double agent living inside your skull. For 16 hours a day, it acts like a friend. It helps you work, and it helps you plan, and it helps you navigate your life. But the second you turn out the lights and finally try to relax, this double agent starts running old operations, painful memories and deep insecurities on a loop. But here's what almost nobody tells you. That double agent wasn't always working against you. It was recruited a long time ago to protect you. For many people who struggle with rumination, though not all, the pattern didn't start in adulthood. It started in childhood. Imagine a child growing up in an environment where outcomes felt unpredictable, where moods shifted without warning, where mistakes had consequences that felt disproportionate and scary. That child's brain learned a very logical survival strategy. Think ahead and anticipate everything. If you can predict what's coming, maybe you can protect yourself. This was not a flaw, it was an adaptation. A very smart nervous system doing exactly what it was trained to do. But the adaptation doesn't expire. The child grows up and the dangerous environment disappears, but the brain never received the memo that it's safe now. The double agent isn't broken, it isn't attacking you, it's working from a map that's 20 years out of date. And you, the adult lying awake at 2:17 in the morning, you're not broken. You're carrying a survival system that outlived its purpose. But knowing the map is out of date doesn't automatically change the route. For that, you have to learn to read the map without obeying it. Therapists who work with chronic overthinkers use a technique called cognitive diffusion. It's not about stopping the thoughts. That's like telling someone with perfect vision to see everything as blurry. It's about changing your relationship to them. Instead of, this is dangerous and I need to figure it out, say, my brain is generating a concern right now. Instead of, this memory proves I'm inadequate, say, my brain is replaying a memory. That's what brains do. One version pulls you in, the other gives you distance. A fraction of distance, but enough. Every time you do this, you weaken the loop. Not by force, not by willpower, but by witnessing it instead of becoming it. Here's the final layer, and I need you to sit with this one. The memory that keeps you up at night is not haunting you because you're weak. It's haunting you because at some level your brain believes something simple. If you can just figure out where it went wrong, you can prevent it from happening. Again, the loop is not punishment. The loop is protection. Misguided, outdated, exhausting protection, but protection nonetheless. And that is not nothing. That is everything. Because when you understand that the loop is trying to keep you safe, you can stop fighting it and stop hating yourself for having it and start saying, I see what you're doing, brain, thank you, but I don't need this right now. The goal was never to stop thinking. The goal was to teach your mind gently and with patience that it is finally safe enough to rest. So here's my question for you. What is the one memory, the one loop that your brain keeps bringing back over and over at the worst possible moments? And now that you understand why it's doing that, does the memory feel different? Tell me in the comments.